Hey, my friends. Thanks for joining me. And tonight I have somebody else joining me, John Manon, the big guy in
Howdy.
charge of the upcoming Spring Sling. Did I say that right? Spring Sling?
Yeah, Midwest Spring Sling. So
All right, awesome. Well, you got some updates for us, don't you?
yeah, there's quite a bit of
Quite a few.
exciting things going on, and just kind of the I feel like we're right now in kind of that February no man's land where we're kind of through with all the early registrations, and you kind of get that wave of excitement where people jump on board real quick, and the response has been phenomenal. We're over 60 registered competitors at this point, and I've still got a list of people that are waiting the last minute to make work accommodations and things so that they can sign up. So
Well,
I don't want to I don't want to speculate too early that we could crack 100, but between the local new shooters that are going to be in attendance, plus the existing community that we're still hoping is going to sign up, it's a possibility at this point. This far out still. So
you're already over 60, you said, right? So, I mean, that's
yeah,
definitely a possibility because we're still, kind of almost 2 months out. We're in the month before, but we're still right at the beginning of it. So
right,
we got a
right.
little time to pick up some people. But one thing I was excited about was I noticed in our group chat you mentioned that we had an international participant now.
Yeah, yeah. So as of now, which is crazy to even say it, is we've got 18 competitors coming from 18 states now
18.
and Canada. So it by definition makes us officially an international uh, event.
That
So
is
so
that's amazing for the not only to get that many people for the first one, but to draw from so far away and
oh yeah.
from another country. That's really awesome. Um, so really happy to hear that people are hearing about it and excited about it like we are. I'm very excited. Um, I had to turn my calendar to February the other day, and time kind of got away from me. I didn't even realize it was February already. So there was I know you had some updates about trying to look through some of the notes we shared here. Registration updates. Is there was that I guess we talked about just how many people, or is there more that you want to share about that?
Well, I can kind of dovetail that together, with the registration update as far as the number of people, and then we do have today's the 6th, and so we had got the free T-shirt with your registration promotion extended until February 18th.
Oh,
So
cool.
we still got about a week for people to sign up if they want to take advantage of the free shirt, and then if they miss that deadline, we still will have shirts available at the event as well as a lot of other things that we'll talk about here in a little bit further down the list.
Yeah, well, I know that T-shirts are a big. I love them. I love getting T-shirts from different tournaments and sling events, and so I'd imagine anybody who's going to be coming to this thing is probably going to want one. So they need to get in there by February 18th. You said
Yeah, February 18th is our extended deadline for that, and
T-shirt
and
deadline.
we were able to get everything else processed that we needed to, and having the fact that we've got over 60 people registered so far by the deadline, uh, we're able to get a little better snapshot on what we will expect, and so kind of estimate out what we might end up seeing by the actual event.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's looking promising so far with all the people that have signed up. And I was looking through the rule or some of the notes that you shared with me here, and it says something about rule adjustment for amateur and youth.
yeah, we were talking about it the one night in Discord actually, and it was something from the very beginning. It was something that I had thought about and kind of questioned in the back of my mind, like why did the amateurs and the youth pretty much have the same stuff they're shooting at, same maybe distance changes, but it's kind of the same stuff, and uh, just kind of dismissed that and didn't give it much thought until it kind of came up again in the Discord the other night, a couple weeks ago now. But basically, what we're gonna test out, and we can't get any rules changed, during the season. But for our event specifically, for the pros, we're keeping everything by the book, so that can be reported nationally, and count as their scores. But for the amateurs and the youth, we are going to make some changes. The woods course will have either two different distances or two different size targets, and they'll all be color coded So like the pros are going to all shoot at, the orange target for say, and the amateurs and the youth will shoot at the green target, or it might just be, two stakes where pros are shooting from further back and amateurs are shooting and youth are shooting closer. For the knockdowns, we are making an adjustment so that you would usually have 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80 mil targets. The youth and amateur divisions, we're going to eliminate the 40 and the 50 and add a 90 and 100 mil target. So they have two larger targets, and we eliminate the two smallest targets for them. So they still have the same number of targets they're shooting at.
Sure.
Just make it a little easier.
Well, yeah, you
Uh,
want to encourage the youth to get out there.
well, and that was the overarching, bottom line for the whole conversation was like, how do we do this to make it more encouraging, to the kids and more encouraging to new shooters, somebody coming out for the first time, maybe haven't shot a slingshot very long at all, and we want to facilitate something that's going to be an encouraging environment, not a discouraging
Sure.
environment. Same thing with the speed shooting. Is looking at it, and it's like you're sitting there as a new shooter. If you got say 20 targets you're there to try to shoot at, and you go through and you're still looking at 18 targets when you're done. That's
Sounds
not a
like
very
me.
not very encouraging feeling. And so, as a way to mitigate that, we are going to make the adjustment for the youth and the amateurs. We'll be shooting at a single, um, you know, whatever the final size we land on, but they'll have a single target they're shooting at. That's just a gong, and it's just going to be how many times you can
How
hit
many
that
hits you get?
same target in the minute, as opposed to, can you knock down 20 targets,
Yeah,
or
that's a
how many
good
of that.
idea.
So
That's a
really just trying to foster that encouraging, and more of an introduction to it. And then if to the amateurs, if they're wanting the regular pro experience, we will let anybody that's registered an amateur uh, change their registration for free to the pro division if they want the more authentic, the same distances the pros are shooting at, the same size knockdowns, the same experience for speed, and the same woods course.
but
So they
still
can
the
change and compete up into the pro if they'd prefer.
okay.
Just since we're making that change, kind of midstream, we wanted to give people that option. We talked about adding like an additional division, but then we've already got the trophies and things like that ordered, and so we'd have to go back and add, a bunch of stuff, which is additional charges, and for a new order for that. So it's just easier to say, hey, if you're in the amateur division and you want to shoot at the exact same stuff that the pros are shooting at, we'll move you to the pro division, for no charge or anything. And if not, we're hoping to facilitate some, things that may help see some rule changes, and some, the
Well,
sport, they're still kind of figuring out the administrative side of it, and
and that's something I
and
was thinking we should probably mention for anybody that may be watching that isn't aware. This is a National Slingshot League sanctioned event, correct?
Yes, and that's why for the pros we're not touching anything, because we want their scores to count, to the national rankings, and then that way, if anybody wants to move up to the pro to have their score counted as part of the national rankings, they can do that.
Right.
But the amateur and the youth, that's like I said, it's too late to change those rules, to make it official. But we've had full support from the league, the
Yeah.
individuals there that we're happy with us, testing the waters
Sure.
with some rule adjustments and changes.
Well, I think that's a great idea, especially the speed shoot thing for amateurs and youth, because it will encourage them more. And then with so many people coming out, and it sounds like there may be some new people. Hopefully, we're drawing new people, and so yeah, that'll be encouraging to them. And that's kind of why I wanted to mention the NSL too, because we hadn't talked about that, and anybody not familiar with slingshot tournaments may not have known for sure what we were talking about with the rules. But um, that's that's great that they're bringing up encouraging things for the kids there. You mentioned speed shooting though, and there's something I'm excited about on the list that I saw you put on here.
I got to guess. So
Go
let's
ahead and
see.
guess. I'll bet you can guess.
I bet you the name Andy Lowe ties into that
Absolutely.
possibly.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited about that because speed shooting is not my deal, but I think it's fun to watch and I like to try it. I always walk away feeling a little dejected, but I'll be attending that class.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was something that was great. Andy, I think we were talking about a week ago, and he'd kind of come up with the idea and wanted to know if we could work it into the event. And I'm like, that sounds like something that would be fantastic to add to our, already exciting lineup for Friday. And it's the educational day, so how perfect is that to then have him running a clinic, and depending on interest, we may try to do something a couple times throughout the day on Friday, but at least have, as he and I pin things down, at least have a designated time at the event that we're going to kind of wind some things down and turn our attention to that for people that want to jump in that with him. And he's kind of still working out the details, but I think it's going to be a great opportunity for
Yeah.
people to spend some time with him and to learn from his knowledge and experience.
Yeah, I want
So,
to spend a little more time with Andy down there. We've chatted some, but I haven't got to spend as much time with him as I'd like. But yeah, really interested in learning from him on speed shooting. Um, I didn't mean to cut you off there. If I did, did you have some more you
oh,
want to say about that?
no, I think that's kind of the gist right now. I know he's going to put a video together that uh, kind of goes a little more in depth with what he's thinking, and so as soon as he gets that, we'll put that link on his YouTube channel to the event page, just as far as what establishing more of expectations for what he's got in mind
Yeah,
and everything. But and it, too, if it ends up being popular enough. There's no reason that we can't do it a second time on Saturday. Run another one. So
yeah, that's a good idea. You had some other items on here that are interesting to me. Well, all of them are interesting, but frame swap meet, trade
yeah,
table, and free table.
yeah, we've had some feedback on some different stuff. The frame swap meet, that always seems like that's been something that people enjoy. Bringing stuff maybe they want to trade, or something that maybe they got and didn't quite like, or shoots doesn't quite shoot right for them. So not only are going to have the area facilitated for the swap meet, but then we'll have a just kind of a trade table that people can just set their stuff and forget it. And if you participate in the trade table, you can leave something, take something. It's kind of the idea on that.
Yeah,
Uh, and then the free table, somebody had suggested they have a surplus of bands and pouches and just general equipment,
I
and so
got
they
you.
thought that it would be a great thing to do, to have that free table for new shooters that are coming to the event
I'll
that
tell
could
you what,
maybe.
I got some things I'm going to put on that free table. I've got several almost full boxes of latex of different brands that I bought to try or to do reviews of on my channel. And I don't really shoot them and they're just collecting dust. So I will bring a bunch of latex up there.
Well, that's definitely the idea, and I know there's a lot of people that have been involved for a long time and maybe looking to do some hand me down stuff for this next group of people coming in, and so what better way to do that is at the educational uh and tournament event. So
Well, I planned on giving it away anyway, but now I don't have to do shipping for it. So there was a something about merchandise, stickers, sling bags, playing
oh,
playing cards that caught my attention.
yeah, I had spent some time doing some merchandise for it. It was something I wasn't originally intended to do, but then with again back to the with the response from the competitors registering, the response from the vendors and sponsors. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, I go out to my mailbox a couple times a week, and there's I got a big box of stuff for the giveaways for the raffle, and we've actually come up with a couple extra ways to give some things away at the event beyond just the raffle. So we're going to have some challenges and things like that. Maybe like a not really a trick shot, but a tricky shot that you'll be able to buy. Do a buy-in for $5. You get 5 shots, and if you can ring the bell on the other side through a small
Oh,
target, then you
fun.
get a
Yeah.
ticket for the final drawing for that particular prize. But just looking at that box grow of stuff that we've got to give away, it just gets me excited looking at the potential for people to walk away with something cool.
Sure.
Uh, and it also to me shows the level of support that we've got from these vendors. So many people, even if they can't make it, have sent something it's great stuff. I mean, it's really cool. And so to be here at our first event and watching that collection grow as we head towards the event, and my list of stuff that people are still sending, uh, makes me very happy that we'll be able to give all that stuff away to people that take the time to come to the event and be a part of it. So, but then too with the merchandise. What I've got coming right now, we've got stickers with the Midwest Spring Sling logo on it for people to get. We'll have the T-shirts available. I've got the just like a drawstring, they call them like a sling bag. Uh, but we got those that are like a orange with the black logo on it.
Okay.
So I'll have those for sale. And then I believe I got 30 decks of playing cards with the Spring Sling logo on it. So I thought, that's kind of cool because not
Yeah.
only can people use them to play cards with, but I know a lot of people like shooting at cards,
Card
trying to cut
cuts
them and
was the first
everything.
thing that
So
came to my mind. I didn't even think about playing with them.
yeah, yeah. So either way, but that way, we've got some kind of merchandise there that has the brand on it, and souvenirs that people can take home, and then it helps support the event for the next one. Because
Very
the money
cool.
we make off of like everything we make off of this, is gonna go towards the next one, and making the next one even better. So
Excellent. Well, I don't think you'll find a more generous group of people than the slingshot community. I may be biased, but that's how I feel. The playing cards is really neat. I'm excited about that. There was something else you just touched on, and I was trying to think of what it was.
I think vendors, maybe sponsors.
Uh, it was something about the vendors, and I can edit around this, so we're not.
I was gonna say that. I mean, the vendor list is growing.
Oh,
It's one of those things.
I know what it was.
Okay.
You mentioned t-shirts, and you'd mentioned earlier the t-shirt deadline. Do you think that there may be extra t-shirts to sell at the event? Was that the idea, or do you think maybe they're all going to be gone through the? Because I would love an extra t-shirt. Maybe I guess that's why I'm getting at it.
Yeah, no. The goal is basically whatever for the deadline for the t-shirts is just so that we can have kind of that snapshot of like, okay, well, to get everybody that's registered to this point to get them a shirt for free, we'll need X number of shirts.
Gotcha.
But then based on that, we were going to add additionally to the order,
Okay.
just to try to, because I assume some people that get a free shirt might also want to buy a shirt at the event.
Right.
And
And
then people that miss the deadline might want to get one. People that come in for, the first time, and even if they're not competing, just might want a souvenir from when they got introduced to slingshots. So we will, I don't know exactly what kind of quantities we'll be talking as far as the extra shirts to sell, but I'm not putting any kind of dates on them or anything. And then that way we'll have them. If we don't sell them all, we'll have them for the next one. So
Yeah, well, that's great. That's kind of what I was wondering is if there's going to be extras because I know there's been times when they've had some left over at different tournaments, and I've been interested in getting one or two more. And unfortunately, usually I miss it because I dilly dally around socializing with people and stuff until it's too late. But anyway, that's awesome. All that merchandise and everything. Is there any other updates that you wanted to touch on today?
trying to think here. I think we pretty much covered, kind of all the main things. I did get confirmation that Nathan Masters will be in attendance.
I
So
saw
he
that.
he
I
had
couldn't
a
I couldn't remember if you talked about that on our last update video or if you just mentioned that to me in the message, our text messages. I knew you'd mentioned it, but that's very exciting.
yeah.
Nathan's
But
really
so
cool.
super excited that he can actually join us. And
Yeah.
I was at the night before, actually, I was talking with Andy and told him, I was like, man, my only disappointment out of this whole thing was that the date that I picked, Nathan had, a schedule conflict and wasn't going to be able to join us for it, with Simple Shots involvement. And, it's kind of disappointing not have him there. So
Yeah.
to wake up the next day to an email, that he is actually going to be able to make it, it's pretty exciting. So
Well, yeah, I'm glad Nathan's going to be there. I always enjoy talking to him, getting to hang out with him, and he's just as nice as he looks like on his videos and everything. He's just a really good guy to hang out with. So I'm glad he's going to be there.
yeah. Well, and I was talking with a buddy of mine yesterday actually, and didn't even really I hadn't given it a thought until uh, as we were talking about it because he was just finding out about the event and was excited to bring his kids out, and so we were kind of catching up a bit and the event itself has been in the back of my mind for 5 years,
Hmm.
that I've wanted to do it, but I'm like, this literally wasn't a thing before November 7th. And so so like this has all come into reality, uh you know
Well,
since being down there at Georgia Bushcraft and meeting Andy and Nathan and talking to them and the Zoom meeting that week after and getting their support, which was really the catalyst to move forward and spend the money to start ordering targets and
sure.
equipment and putting stuff on paper as far as the final layouts and things for everything. And then uh, the NSL got involved and with helping with the rules and filling in those gaps. And so it's just all coming together so smoothly, with really minimal hands, but very high quality hands that have been involved with facilitating things to this point. And I'm so grateful for the guys involved and the support, for the opportunity to come on and talk to you, and you helping promote us.
Well, I'm
uh,
happy to. I'm happy to. I'm thrilled that you're doing this for the community. I'm glad that you allowed me to be a part of it. And yeah, it's just great that you're doing this. It's coming together. You mentioned how quickly it's come together. It's coming together really nicely for something that was nothing more than an idea a couple of months ago.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I couldn't have done it without the support from the community, and some of the big players that are willing to take a chance on us. And I mean, again, like nobody knew me. The number of times is like, oh, we don't know who this guy is, and so just kind of coming out of nowhere and taking the slingshot world by storm,
Well,
and
I
hoping that we'll be able to kind of redefine things, respectfully, stand on the shoulders of the people that have come before us with it, and just put on something that's a unique event that's kind of got our signature on it as a love letter to the slingshot community, and just so thankful for all the support and all the people that have gotten involved to help out in whatever capacity. So
yeah. Well, I think that it's a great group. It's one of the most generous and helpful groups. I've been involved in different hobby type communities and stuff, but I've never met a group of people like the slingshot community, and I guess that's why I like it so much and want to be a part of it. But yeah, everybody is always willing to step up and help because we all want to see the sport grow. It all means a lot to us, and so we're all grateful that you did come along out of the blue, John. I remember I remember when I first started seeing the post about it, I was like, John, okay, I'm not sure I know him, but I'm glad somebody's doing this. So yeah, definitely a big thank you to you. Was there any other things that you wanted to touch on before we wrap it up today?
I mean, right now that's kind of the updates that we've got to this point. There's some behind the scenes stuff that we're working on that not quite ready to mention, but that'll be on the Facebook page and
Okay.
things as we get that ready. Uh, but no, I'm just so excited to get the chance. It's weird because dealing with so many people here, through Zoom and the Discord, and getting accepted into that group so quickly, and just talking to all these guys, you know, through the computer, uh, and just looking forward to actually getting a chance to to shake everybody's hand and meet
Yeah.
everybody in person.
It is a
So
neat
just
thing. That is a neat thing about the slingshot community is that a lot of our socializing is done over social media and stuff. So when you get together, it's a really good time. It's kind of like a family reunion because it's generally a lot of the same people that turn up again over and over at these things. But yeah, I'm thrilled that there's another one because there can't be too many in my opinion.
yeah, yeah.
All right, John. Well, I appreciate it, and you are absolutely welcome to come back anytime you have updates because I'm really excited about it, and I want to see a good turnout there. It sounds like we're already well on our way. So we got what is it, about 6 more weeks until it's here?
Yeah, somewhere in there. I haven't counted it out for a bit. In my head, I'm still at the like 8 week, just because that was like, hey, we're still 8 weeks out, and we've got
Well,
60 people. So
if you have
and
time, you can come back on every couple of weeks and give us an update. And of course, more often than that, if you have new updates. But yeah, everybody's excited and wanting to hear about it. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I don't want to bore people with kind of the, the same stuff. So, it's been nice that as we continue to have new things develop, and, it's exciting for me, every day to, whether it's a Facebook message that somebody shipped something for the raffle, or, somebody confirmed that they're coming as a vendor now. And I mean, that's we're getting to the point where I might have to start turning people away,
Well, that's a
for
good
the
problem to
vendors. And
have.
so, to go from thinking, hey, if we get 3 or 4 people to come out and set up some tables and have that, to like, hey, we might need to actually, cut the number
Tear it
the
down.
number of vendors we're going to take at this point, because it's filling in so nicely.
Yeah.
And we got to save some room for the big practice range,
Yeah,
not
that's an
not just
excellent problem to
have
have.
all vendors. So it's a good problem to have, like you said. And
Yeah.
it's just for me, it's hard because we're like I said before, kind of at the beginning, like we're in that no man's land. And so I feel like we probably got most of the rest of this month that we'll be tying up some loose ends. I think I mentioned, we had all the awards ordered. So just waiting to get the call to come pick those up. So have all those ready, the prizes and things. But I think as far as registration, if this stays true to what other individuals that have run, some of the other tournaments that I spoke uh, with what they say, and with my personal experience from like the Ninja Warrior competitions and how that goes with the early registration, and then kind of the middle of the road, and then the last minute stuff. Uh, I think we're gonna see a jump here. I don't know, in the next 3 or 4 weeks as we close in,
That's what I was going to ask.
as
Is
well
there?
as I'm kind of expecting that we'll have the people that oops, I missed the deadline. Can I still sign up? And we're going to try to facilitate that for everybody, and make sure that everybody gets in. But if you're making the commitment and you can, get on the Eventbrite page and register now. It just helps us, and again, you won't miss out on a T-shirt if you do it before February 18th. So if
Absolutely.
you're mostly certain you're going to make it, go ahead and get signed up and get that spot locked in, uh, just to help us with numbers and things like that. And I guess the other thing, and I didn't send it in the message to you, but we did have one of the food vendors confirm that they'll be there on Friday and Saturday with their food truck. And then I've got a couple others that were just waiting to hear back as far as scheduling. So that was kind of a question I think we had maybe the last time, or on
Yeah.
Facebook or something.
Yeah.
And so not only are the restaurants within 5 or 10 minutes of the facility, we're not out in the middle of nowhere, but to actually be able to have some stuff on site, beyond our concessions, for
Yeah. I don't
people
know
to
why
get. So
food always tastes better out of a food truck for some reason. It seems to. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear there's going to be food vendors there as well as other stuff because I like food about as much as I like slingshots.
when I was trying to talk, my wife, we were talking about what it would take to, I don't know, do some big like roaster pans full of like, chili, or
Oh, okay.
beef and noodles or something like that we could actually do, from her side of it, because she makes some good food and rolls and cookies and things like that. So I may twist her arm and have some of that, her home baked goods available, for people
If you
to
if
enjoy.
you
So
convince her to do it, I'll make sure it's not in vain. All right, John, it has been great talking to you again, getting some updates. My cat's peeking his head up here in the background. He wants to know what's going on.
mascot's
Yeah,
coming in to say hi.
you can definitely come back anytime you have updates, but if nothing else, come on and chat with me every couple of weeks and we'll just find out what's going on.
Yeah, well, I really enjoy it, and I appreciate the opportunity and the platform, and
I do
the
too.
the number of responses that we've got from people that have watched the previous videos we've done. It makes every single one of them worth it, and I just enjoy getting on here talking about the event with you, and
Yeah, it's fun.
and look
It
forward to.
makes me happy to hear that people are watching my videos.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, John. And I'm going to head out in the garage here in a little bit after I have some dinner and start making pouches tonight. I got a bunch of pouches I need to make, just in general, but I'm going to make a bunch to bring up there
I was
for
gonna say
for the
I
tour. Yeah.
posted that in the Facebook group, or the Facebook event page, and
Yeah.
definitely seeing some good positive responses on people liking those pouches. So
Well,
you
I liked them and I decided other people might, and I'm getting good feedback. So I appreciate it from everybody. But I will be bringing some up there. He is about to have a nervous breakdown.
Stealing the show.
Yeah, he is. All right, John. Well, it was good to talk to you, and we will stay in touch and plan on coming back and giving us some updates.
Sounds great.
All
We'll
right.
see you.
Thank you, sir.